Welcome. More on the number three. More on the number three. So, yes, we are on this us ship traveling. Of course, we're doing three, and we are actually, yes, I'm doing all this because now we are going to talk about the W, or which is three. So you could sort of look at this angle here and think you can see three, two limbs on my head. Okay, that is as well. That's three that I had been talking about. We could sort of have that shape. Anyway, let's not get too excited here, but that's what three does. Three is the dancer. Actually, I did the numerical value for the word dancer. So we are going to look at W and the dancer. Okay. So I said that three is the dancer, Dancer, and this is 415359. I like the way it ends with 9 because 9 is that new and old. It ends and it begins. People say it ends, but it's beginning. The word beginning equals 9. So basically, where there is a ending, there is a new beginning, and that's what the dancer does. The dancer, it stimulates your vibration to move, to stir you, or stir your emotions into doing, into acting, into, you see a dancer, the emotions. In fact, they have shown this, that if you watch someone dance, that the same emotions or hormones get activated within you, something to that effect, or the dopamine, or one of these happy hormones gets activated. Okay, so the dancer, let's add this. This is how I do this. 10, 27. 2 7 is 9. So if we did the numerical value for 27 just in word form, just let's play with this for a minute. We have done 20. We know 20 is 8, and we know 7 is 2. So if we add this together, 82, or 8 plus 2 is 10. And if we did the numerical value, because we are working with 3, and I've done 10 before, but let's look at this. TEN, which is 255, this equals 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Can we see what I mean when I said that 3 is the dancer? Now, I had not done this before. Not throughout this way. I'm sure I done the word dancer before, but I'm doing this intuitively, and of course, 3 is really seeking that attention, seeking to be realized. That's what 3 does. That's why it is free. Okay, and we call it free, or the word freedom is also free. Okay, I've done this. Freedom. So 12 we have, as in when Mother Eve says, let there be light. That equals 12. Or we have the 12 zodiac signs. Now, in fact, we have 13. But of course, 12 was serving a purpose for the time that it was meant to be secretive, if you like, because the vibration that people were operating on or under was in line with 12. We were not ready to be awoken. When we are ready, the teacher shows up. Okay. So, there's number 3. I mean, I'm trying to remember on what other note that I said I was going to look at W, of course. So the W, so 3, of course, like I say, it's the 8-petal flower because it is M, it is free, it is E, and it is W. So we are looking at the W aspect of free. Okay. And Again, this is the world because it's 8-petal flower. And that's why I like to go over these presentations, because I know through doing the presentations there is so much more. And I would like to break them down, and as I say, we could digest them much easier that way. So it's the 8-petal flower, and we are looking at W. So here we have on the template, so the letter U is 3. It has the 3 vibration. Okay. And of course, I like the way the V is here underneath. It's like really ready to show us our victory. Okay. So the U, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. U is what we use to connect with you, the other you. The other you. When we use the word W, the language has been constructed in a way that it has truth in plain sight, so to speak, that we use it all the time. We see it, but we have not awoken to it. So W is really 6. We are Genesis, for instance. We are genes, so here we have 5, 5, 5. But because we have all these 5s in the middle, Mother Eve, of course, really teaches us about this. This is Isis is there as well. Mother Eve and Isis is the same. It's 1, 9, 1. So this is 10, 20, 32, 33. That's the first. Again, it's seem like when people talk about, I don't know much about the masonry, for instance, but when people speak of the 33rd degree or something, I'm thinking that is where you get to realize exactly who you are. Because even with the number 5 that I speak of, when we do the numerical value for the word 5, which is 6, 9, 4, 5, 9 and 9, 18, 19, 24, 2 plus 4 gives us 6. So 5 is really 6 as well. When you get to understand the construct of your makeup, that you are 6, we are a Genesis. The Genesis that we are. Genesis means beginning. We are not the original, you could say, human or beings on earth. We are not. We are. It's like this story of the children of Israel going into the land of Canaan. So that's what we are here. This is all these stories are just to help us discover this truth. That's all it is, to help us realize who we are. Moses, the word Moses equals 17, and 17 is 8. 1 plus 7 is 8. This is God. He is looking, and it's like saying you have to break out of that God. And I think while I'm saying this, I've always been asking myself, why wasn't he allowed to get into the promised land? Because it was promised. It was promised, but Moses did not get into the promised land. That is really symbolic or very significant to what our a strong correlation to saying that you need to break out of 8 to get into a new nest or nest. To get into that newness, into the new land, you need to break out of 8. That's where Mother Eve is saying on the eighth Latin, she says, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. After. The word after is there to say there would be something before and then there's something after. So I hope we really get this. I want to keep these, as I say, bite sizes. So 3 plus 3 is 6. And I'll just continue with that W so you can see, of course, this is what we are saying with the number 3. It's like they're dancing. There's the W and the M and the W. That's the mother, or we could see on our bodies, for instance, there is the buttocks and there's the breasts, or there's the mouth, or whichever angle you want to look at it. It's basically the same. So the 8-petal flower, we need to break out of the 8-petal flower to have this new birth, the new break out of the womb. The womb is 8. So this is actually the womb. The womb is the 8-petal flower. So W, as I say, we use this when we say W, when we say you to someone. Of course, the word you is, let's see, 7, 6, 3. Adding this together gives us 9. This gives us 16, 9, 10, 16, yes. So this is 7. If we have double U, W, 2 U's, 2U, that's why the word two exists. That's why this exists, because this is really, in essence, this. It's also the same as this. And I have the presentations on that. So if you go for my videos, I would urge that you look out for anything like this. You might find it very interesting to discovering who we truly are. So this is the W. W is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. Here we are speaking of the gods again. 14, 1 plus 4 is 5. That's what we are meant to realize who we truly are. Going into the 5th dimension, we are not just 5. We are meant to realize, discover, or rediscover ourselves as 5. To do that requires that we ignite, I say, the 3rd eye, whether it's through the chakras, however people do it, but ignite the 3rd eye with pineal gland. That is 5. Kundalini is 5. Christ is 5. So get the Christ spirit, which is 3, 8, 9, 9, 1, 2. Adding this together, this is 20. This is 31, 32. 3 plus 2 is 5. So I'm going to leave this here. I was tempted to do 35, but let's leave this one here, and we can explore more on the number 3, because 3 is so dynamic. It's revealing. No wonder, as it is said, in the beginning God created. The word created is equals 11, which is the same as the word 311. Okay, 311 instead of 911.